he's a mad scientist.
Yeah,
Like, and you know, me and Dave, we grew up in the same neighborhood. He lived like 2 blocks away from me.
really?
So we know I know Dave since I was a little kid almost. You know,
Wow.
he's a little bit older than me, but I like we've been seeing each other since we were kids, and then we linked up a little later, and
What's up, my man? You want to go with Jose or Conejo? What do you like?
whichever one you like, I'm good with both of them.
I like it. Man, learning a lot about you recently and here's the one thing. So I was like, I usually when I like a song at the end of credits of a movie, I just pull out my phone and Shazam it. And damn,
Yeah,
I find out it's your song right away. I was
yeah,
like, what a
yeah.
badass song.
I just finished it when we were out there. I just was getting ready to put out this new album called The Reset, and
Uh-huh.
then I handed a flash drive to the director Michael Hayden. I was like, "Hey, if something works for something, go ahead and pick whatever you want." And he was going, it was like one or the other, and he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna use this one. I like this one." It like because the song says something about like a phoenix rising from the from the
Hmm.
ashes, and so Dominique, Rise of the Phoenix type scenario.
Yeah. No, it's badass. I love this song. I was just like, I'm into it. I'm like, oh man, it's you. I'm like, I
Yeah,
gotta ask you about it, right away.
yeah.
So cool. I got to speak to Oksana earlier. Man, what a badass she was. Was she? I mean, you talk about
Stupid.
someone who knows like fight choreography and how to handle weapons and all. And
Yes, yes.
you've seen it in your life. I mean, she's a powerhouse, right?
She is. She is. And you know what? She put in that work. She put in those hours. She did that training. It's hard. It's like, you see it, it's already on film. You're seeing it, but it's hard, and we trained. You've seen the fight sequences. So there was so much
Mhm.
training that went behind that. But I think in the end, like the end result is what makes it worth it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this movie, sometimes you have movies, action movies that you can tell it's not someone doesn't know how to handle the weapons or the fighting is. This felt like deeply in there, like not only her performance but all of you guys. This felt real. This felt like a real cartel, everything about it. And I think maybe the setting in Colombia too adds to the elements, like a character.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't you feel
Definitely.
that way?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it does. It changes everything, the energy, the aura, everything. And
Mm.
I'm Mexican, and Colombia is like Mexico is what Colombia was a while back. So
Uh-huh.
I know this. So I go over there, and for this movie, I already knew what was the energy I had to bring. What was it that I had to bring?
What was the set like with Michael and everyone else? I mean, you obviously had some talented crew, but it's kind of a close knit cast, I'd imagine, too, out there. What was the set like day to day? I'm curious.
I mean, it was no, you know what? There was a lot of difficulties. On every
Oh, yeah.
set, there's always issues. There's always
Yeah.
issues, and one of the biggest issues always is time. Because they're trying to get the scene a certain way, and they're adjusting, changing lenses, this, that, and but like not the whole movie was like that, but there was like certain scenes that there was trouble, but for the most part, everything was running smooth. Um, Hardest thing for me was like when we shot at night, like from the night to the morning.
Uh-huh.
So first of all, you got to stay awake. Then it was cold. It was drizzling, and we were by the mountains, and you know, and then sometimes there's a lot of like downtime, like while they're like switching up the set. Okay, we're gonna reset the shot. We gotta change lenses. We gotta change the cards, move the lights, do this, do that. You're on downtime. You're waiting, so that's when that fatigue starts creeping in. So,
Mhm.
but other than that, everything was smooth. I had fun, especially like the scene where I bless her with a little gift right through the front door of the house.
That's right.
Yeah, take this. And that was fun for me. The stunt coordinators were kind of like concerned, and I was like, why? What could happen? Well, there's like fireworks kind of involved in it when we do it. Do you want a stunt guy? I'm like, well, is it really that crazy? If you're with it, well, let's do it. I'm like, let's do it. And we end up shooting it like 3 times to get it right, you know?
Oh, damn,
It
that's
was
cool.
fun every time. I'm like, they're like, boom, there it goes.
Yeah, that was a badass thing. You pull that out, it's like he's not messing around here. You know what I mean? When that was one of, that caught me by surprise. I'm like, okay, now there's really heavy artillery in the works here.
Yeah, yeah. And then it leads into the next scene where I come in there looking for her, and
That's
then,
right.
we got to showcase our skills.
No, it was well like shot too, all along. I just enjoyed this film. I thought it was a great, really entertaining action movie. And speaking of that, I first was introduced to you in one of my other favorite movies, The Tax Collector. Um,
Yes,
Man, I really enjoyed that movie with Shia and someone that you worked with, obviously familiar with David Ayer. What
yes.
is it like working with David, man? I talked to Bobby Soto back then, I remember, but David's a real one from what I'm getting, right?
He's a mad scientist.
Yeah,
Like, and me and Dave, we grew up in the same neighborhood. He lived like 2 blocks away from me.
really?
So I know Dave since I was a little kid almost.
Wow.
He's a little bit older than me, but we've been seeing each other since we were kids, and then we linked up a little later, and and then this like the way I work with Dave, I bring that same like humbleness with I work with Michael because I just trust them, like just guide me, and then I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Just guide me in the right direction. I'll go in there and do it. So it's like a boxing match, and it's round 7, round 8. It's coming down to the crucial round, so I
Yeah.
gotta pay attention to my corner. Whatever they tell me to do is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, no, I mean, makes sense. It's kind of, you can see some similarities between both of those guys and their styles and
Yeah.
filmmaking too, with those two films. Going back to Tax Collector, that must have been authentic. I mean, that was shot legitimately in Los Angeles, South Central, all these areas. I mean, that movie felt authentic. Like, that had culture in it in so many
Yeah.
ways too. And I mean, Shia's performance, Bobby, everyone was just on that movie too.
Yes, it was. You just laid it out. It was.
Hmm.
Well, that's how this one was. We went to Colombia,
Yeah,
and
that's crazy that you guys actually went on site.
we were in these neighborhoods, in these like barrios and colonias, and I mean that's the word I use. Some of these places look like Brazilian favelas, like,
Uh-huh.
and me, like, I was walking around, I'll go to the corner guy and get empanadas, and then come walk back to the set, man, I'm tired. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna stretch out and go for a walk and go get some empanadas.
That's why
But yeah,
the connection with the locals, you know what I mean? Did they know you guys
yeah.
are filming something big, or you kind of guys, you kind of snuck in there?
I mean, they were. I mean, we shot in the middle of their neighborhood. Yeah,
Hmm.
they're out there looking like, what's going on here?
That's crazy. I
I
mean,
was
it
so
must have been
happy.
a thrill for them. You probably
Yeah,
don't have camera crews coming around.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
It,
fantastic. Are
yes,
you going to work again? Hoping to work again with Michael and David? I mean, those
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
they
With
seem.
both of them. Like,
Oh yeah.
well, you've seen it. You've seen it. I might come back with that eye patch. I might
Hey.
come back with that eye patch. And then with Dave, I was with Dave in London. We just shot a movie with Jason Statham. So that's like scheduled for January. So, yeah, Michael and Dave.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I really enjoy it. I feel like you bring rawness to your work. It feels
Yeah,
like there's real life experience. Especially with guys like these, they know how to cast. You can tell by their films. And I feel like you've blended into both of these films in a right way. So I'm curious now, are you gonna try to balance the music and the acting, or preference to
and
either?
I'm doing it already right now. I got a new album we're working on right now. It's a like new metal rap rock album with my
Hmm.
band, a live band. The album's called Sigil. I just dropped the first single called Adrenaline, and we're just but I'm working on other stuff like acting. I'm This is like my new craft, so I'm all in immersed in this as well.
Does it come easy
So
for you, the acting part? It seems natural. I mean, sometimes you watch like you see an actor, but I see a real guy there. When your performances. How do you sort of approach that?
I mean, honestly, it was like a smooth transition from
Yeah.
one to the other, and then I transitioned back and forth from them. So I don't know. It hasn't been hard for me. You know, I've been lucky. I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm gonna stay like
Uh-huh.
that forever. You know, I just when I do these roles, you know, like I said, I'm drawn to these dark, complex characters. You know, I guess
Uh-huh.
I execute them well, and these guys know that, so they call upon me when it's time for that guy to show up. And
And you can just snap into it. It's
I've been
amazing.
into it.
Do you sort of think about the journey of your life is potentially a movie in itself? Do you ever
Yeah.
imagine how your life has evolved to this? When you look back, do you ever kind of like reminisce
Never,
and look back like, holy hell, I
never,
came
never.
from.
Well, you know what? I never thought it. You know, I've been traveling around the world now. I just got back from Barcelona. I didn't, I knew that if I could get back, that I could make it happen. But it was just like far-fetched. Like, man,
Mhm.
you know, but you know, you just like called upon the universe and just brung it into existence. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm thinking the gods were with me.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, but you're rolling with it, and you're doing some awesome work musically and on screen. Really cool to get to talk to. Like I said, as soon as I saw you in TaxCon, I'm like, I'm a fan of this guy. Because you're terrifying in that movie. You really were. And now getting to see you again was really cool too. So, hey, pleasure to meet you. I hope we get to do it again.
Blessings. Thank you very much.
Hey, my man. Thank you. Appreciate the time.